When NASA's twin Mars rovers touched down in July 2004, Spirit deployed a commemorative plaque in honor of the fallen astronauts aboard Space Shuttle Columbia. It reads, "In memoriam to the crew of Space Shuttle Columbia, STS-107, February 1st, 2003. Rick D. Husband, William C. McCool, Michael P. Anderson, Kalpana Chawla, David M. Brown, Laura B. Clark, Ilan Ramon." Notice anything wrong with this picture? Nor did I, until the responses to Phoenix Rising came flooding in. The very day after the Phoenix landing, Matthew Dickinson sent me an email posting links to various Mars conspiracy websites. The very first one pointed out this anomaly with the Spirit photos. On January 6, 2004, Spaceflight Now ran an article entitled "Space Shuttle Columbia Crew Memorialized on Mars." In this article, two NASA photos were featured, one obtained from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the other from Kennedy Space Center. The JPL photo was captioned, "A plaque honoring the fallen crews of Columbia is mounted on the back of Spirit's high-gain antenna." The KSC photo was captioned, "The plaque on Spirit as seen prior to launch." These two photos are of the memorial plaque, but there is one crucial difference. Do you see the JPL logo in the pre-flight photo? That logo is nowhere to be seen from the surface of Mars. Among other fan mail was this response from YouTube user Michael St. Mark. His discovery regarded the Phoenix landing. As with the Pathfinder, it seems that NASA gave us two completely different histories. On May 23, 2008, just days prior to the landing, the Jet Propulsion Lab released a video called "Guided Tour of Mars Landing." Rob Manning, the JPL's chief engineer on the Mars program, narrated this video. In it, he explicitly states that during the phase of entry, when the heat builds up on the shield, NASA would be out of contact with Phoenix.
As the vehicle enters the atmosphere, the vehicle is transmitting what it's doing and where it is and what its orientation is to our orbiting spacecrafts, Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and Mars Odyssey. These vehicles have been timed to fly overhead about now. Unfortunately, all this hot gas that surrounds the vehicle prevents the signal from making it to our orbiters. It's not until it slows down later on that the signal will actually make it out to the vehicles to let us know how it went.
However, during the actual phase of the 7 minutes of terror, there was no such loss of signal. This is revealed in the video that NASA released after the landing.
Atmospheric entry on my mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
We have now entered the atmosphere and are starting to slow down.
Phoenix now 1 minute past the entry point. We still have a signal via Odyssey. At this point in time, Phoenix goes normally through peak heating. At this time, we still see a signal via Odyssey.
Unfortunately, all this hot gas that surrounds the vehicle prevents the signal from making it to our orbiters.
Phoenix now 1 minute past the entry point. We still have a signal via Odyssey. At this point in time, Phoenix goes normally through peak heating. At this time, we still see a signal via Odyssey.
Keep in mind, I have not edited these videos in any way. They came directly from NASA, and presuming they have not tried to cover it up, they can still be downloaded from their website. Within hours after the landing, Phoenix began sending back surface images. Shortly afterwards, live video user Bait4719 directed me to these two NASA photos. It seems on May 30th, 2008, 6 days after touchdown, a loose screw fell from the Phoenix and landed in the dust. These two images were taken that same day, photographed by a camera on the Phoenix's robotic arm. The first image, frame 896662759, was taken at 14 hours, 39 minutes and 37 seconds local solar time. The second image, frame 896662868, was taken at 14 hours, 41 minutes and 23 seconds local solar time. In other words, these two frames were taken 2 minutes and 46 seconds apart. However, the loose screw is only present in the 1439-37 frame. We know that the robotic arm didn't move it, because it never touched the Martian surface until May 31st, the very day after these photos were taken. And when one superimposes these two images over one another, the soil features are identical, meaning a strong gust of wind didn't bury the screw under the soil. The only logical explanation for this is that a careless stagehand noticed the screw on set and then moved it between shots.
Scientists believe there may be ice in the Martian soil, and in the next few days the probe will begin digging for it.
Again, there are conflicting histories concerning NASA's space exploits. On June 3rd, 2008, MX News published pictures beamed back from Mars showing the first trench that the robotic arm had dug. The Martians are coming, and they've got big feet. It may look like the first signs of life on Mars, but this picture of an imprint in the soil beamed back from NASA's Phoenix Mars lander is actually of the initial dig test area, known as the Nave of Hearts, carried out on the planet by the spacecraft's robot. And yet, 3 days later, it was reported that the initial dig hadn't even happened yet. As was reported in the Daily Telegraph. Meanwhile, another communications glitch stopped NASA's Phoenix lander again from making its first dig into the Martian soil. If the robotic arm hadn't dug into the Martian soil by June 6, how could photos of the first dig have appeared in the newspapers printed just 3 days earlier? NASA images seem to have a habit of appearing in the Australian newspapers before they are even shot.